Hello everybody, this is Dedra with Paper Crafts and Planners, and today we are going to make one of these cute pop-up box cards or card in a box. I've heard it called both things. And it is a really cute design. This one is a superhero theme. We're going to do a different theme on camera today. And when it folds flat, it fits into a standard A2 size envelope. So it's the same as a standard card size. Now a few weeks ago I made another one of these in a different style, and it required a die. And this is a lawn fawn die that cut this. I will link to that video in case you're going to see. It's also super cute, and when it folds up you can see it's not as tall and it's wider. So it just looks a little different, same basic idea, and again it fits into a regular envelope for mailing. So let's get started on this one. You're going to need, if you have an 8.5 by 11 piece of solid cardstock, I would recommend it is at least an 85 weight. I found works really nicely. A 65 is just a little too flimsy, and the 110 is really hard to fold and use. So I'm using, this is actually purple. I don't know why it's showing up kind of a blue on my camera, probably because of the lighting, but anyway, this is, I started off with an 8.5 by 11 piece, and I cut it to 5.5 by 9 for this piece, which is going to be the main body of the card. And then you're going to need two pieces that are they are 1 inch by 2 3/4. And don't worry if you don't get all of these measurements I'm saying, they're all going to be in the description box below. Okay, now you're going to score this. You could see I've already done this because I sort of had a malfunction with my camera and a cat in the craft room, so you know how that goes. Okay, so 2 1/8, and make sure you really give a good crease to it because it's going to be a little more difficult to fold if you don't. 4 1/4, got some glue there. 6 3/8, so that notch right before 6.5, and 8.5. Okay, then you're going to turn it once, and on the short side, so the 5.5 inch side, you're going to score at 2 3/4 all the way down. Okay, now what we're going to do is fold on all of our score lines and give it a good crease. Let's do this little one first. So you just need to really crease it down really well. And this is definitely creased down since I've done it before. Okay, there you go. Now what you're going to do is figure out which one is longer, because one's slightly longer, and it's this one I have at the top. So what you want is the top piece to be the piece that's a little bit shorter so that your card stands up properly without the bottom flaps hitting. But it doesn't really, I mean, the flaps are not going to probably go all the way down, so it doesn't really matter, but that's the way I like to do it. Okay, now we're going to take our scissors, and you're going to either need your paper trimmer or a big pair of scissors, and we're going to cut up each of these score lines. Okay, all of them, that one and this one also, and then we're going to cut this rectangle off and cut this as a wedge. And let me show you, I already have one going here that I did before the video malfunctioned. So let's see, we were cutting like this all the way up, and then we took a wedge out here because this flap is going to fold along and attach, and we don't want it standing up and showing. Okay, then for these you want to put them in the scoring board or whatever, however you score, and do them at 1/4 inch from each end. So 1/4 inch, and then 2.5 would make it, and then again fold it down and score it really well. Okay, and then we're going to need to put some tape, some double-sided tape on this flap here, the part that's going to be touching the back. Get that down, and one piece is plenty, but you can do two so that it doesn't try to come up on you. I try to get it all the way up to the top and then cut it at an angle. That. And then you're going to need a piece of tape on each of these flaps also. And this is 1/4 inch tape, so it's going to be really tight getting it on this flap. On each of the flaps on each end. And fold them in. It doesn't matter which way you fold them as long as they're both going the same direction. And you put score tape on the part that folds inward. Okay. And like that. Okay, on this one I'm doing it slightly different than I did the superhero one. Let me show you. On the superhero one, I put a mat around each of the printed papers. So there is a red piece, and then there's the printed paper. You can see, and I'm not doing it on this one. I'm just doing the printed paper. But in the directions or in the description box below will be both measurements. So for this one, I'm using what I put down there as the mat measurement for the printed paper because I'm not doing a matted piece. So I wanted this printed paper to be the biggest size. But if you were going to do both, there's a mat size and there's a printed paper size. And so you'll need to do both of them. Okay, so we're going to decorate all the pieces. I already put this piece on the back, and it is, let me get my measurements here. It is 1 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I've put it on both my panels that are going to be the back. And the way you determine that is this will attach to that back piece. That little flap's going to attach to the back. So that's how I determined which one was my back, okay? And then I put a piece on the front and back. This is double-sided paper, so I just used the other side for the back side. I just thought it was nice to kind of get a couple of prints there. Okay, now when this is standing up, these flaps are going to be down like this, right? So if you have a directional paper, like a stripe that you wanted them all to go the same way or something like that, or maybe some flowers that look like they were going up or down, make sure you make note of which direction they need to go. So mine do not make a difference because the floral is just whichever way I wanted it, it would look cute. So I'm going to put a floral on each of these. And these pieces are 1 7/8 by 2 3/8. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue to adhere them down. And of course, as soon as you get on camera, the nozzle's clogged. And you don't need a lot of this art glitter glue for them to stick. And just try to get them even in that little square there. That one. And so we're going to need these 3 to match, or at least that's the way I like to do it, that are going to go on the top. But I could have done a completely different print than what's on the back. And I like to kind of see that they're lined up with each other. So straight across so they look even. But I could have done the side flaps different than the front flap, whatever you decide you want to do. Once you start making these, you'll kind of get a feel for what you like and can change it up. Don't have to do it the way I do it. Okay, so here are these flaps. It's going to look like that when it goes together. Really cute. Now we want to do the underside flaps. And again, pay attention because when the box is folded flat, you're going to see these going up like this and this going down. So I cut another piece that is two-sided, and I think that I'm going to put this watercolor green. It's a kind of a greenish blue, kind of an aqua. And then I'm going to flip over to the other side and do this floral. And let me show you this paper because I forgot to do that before we started. This is a close to my heart, and I checked right before I filmed, so hopefully it's still available. And it is called Every Little Thing. And the paper pack came with these 3 different prints, and you received 2 of each of them, I believe. So there's a front and back, front and back, front and back, and then this sticker sheet. And it was $9.99. And I'm using pieces of the sticker sheet. I'll show you how for this video also. Let's put those aside and let's glue these down. Thought I'd put this floral at the top, but I could have used the same print all the way around. But I think this is really cute to kind of give some variety here. And it would have looked just as cute if I had decided to put a matte in. I could have done like a black or maybe a lavender. I just thought these right directly on this purple were really pretty. And I know you're not getting purple. I think you're getting royal blue, but it is purple. Okay, get that on there. And it's a little tricky getting these put together, but once you've done one, you really will get the hang of it. Well, that wasn't very straight, was it? Okay. With this art glitter glue, if you catch it really quickly, sometimes you can move it, but usually once it's down, it's pretty much down. Okay, try to get that even. Don't worry if you get a little bit of this glue, it does dry clear. There'll be a little shiny bit there, but I don't think it harms anything for that to show a shiny piece. It will be clear. Okay, now we're going to put these pieces inside before we attach it together, okay? Now, you can see when we're going to put it together that we want our pieces to go across this way. So I'm going to attach it to this first, okay? And what I'm going to do is take the score tape off this one piece. Here's my little tool. This one piece here. I'm going to decide where I want it. And it just, I mean, how far back you want it and how high up you want it, it really depends on your personal preference. This is about what I like to do. And I'm going to press it down, kind of make sure it's straight here, and then I'm going to flap it over like this, and then I'm going to do the next one. And same thing, I'm going to line it up so they're straight, and I'm going to press it down, and then I'm going to take the pieces off of here. Now I'm going through this really quickly, but of course if you were making this for someone special, you're going to take a lot more time than I am and really take your time about it. Okay, piece up. All right, now the easiest way to do this is to have those lying flat, and then we're going to fold this over and press it down. Okay, so when you open it up, hopefully you can see that they're in the middle and going straight across. Now what I like to do is kind of press them both ways. Okay, and now we're going to attach this piece to the back. If you did that first, it would be really hard to get those center pieces done. I saw someone do a video and she put this all together and then put the center inside pieces, and I don't know how she did it, but and now you can just do that. Okay, and again press it so you get those inside flaps really down, and now you have this. Okay, now what I've done is I've taken some pieces of acetate, and these I buy in an 8.5 by 11 sheet, and I cut into strips, and I get these from Fun Stamper's Journey. And then I took some elements from the sticker sheet and I backed them on the purple paper and then cut them out because I don't want them to be sticky, of course, when I'm putting them in here. Okay, so I have this big floral element, a couple of leaves, and then this bird. I really think these are all very cute. So I think what I'm going to do is have this floral element sort of sticking up one way or the other. Now when you put these pieces in, keep in mind when it folds flat, it's going to look like this. You don't want to have something sticking up over the top or way over to the side, or it will not fit in the envelope. Okay, so I think that I'm going to do that one right about there. Okay, so I'm going to take a piece of acetate and I'm going to cut it down. I don't need it to be very tall because this is a big piece. I don't need it sticking up really high. And I'm going to put some art glitter glue at the top. And let's see, how do I want this? I think like that. I think like that. So I'm going to attach it here. Just hold it for a moment so that glue can stick. And then I'm going to put some down at the bottom. And this is where some of these tweezers, these reverse tweezers, really come in handy. So I'm going to stick it down there and get it about the height that I think I want it, exactly where I want it. And then I'm going to hold it in place with these tweezers for just a few seconds until the glue sticks. Just going to hold it there. Okay, doesn't take long. And now you see it's a little floppy, but I think that's cute. Okay, now we're going to take some of these leaves, maybe like this, on this front piece. And then I'm going to attach the bird also. You know what? I think I want this down a little lower. And that's okay because it hasn't dried completely. Especially on the acetate, it can take a little bit longer to dry. I don't want it to flop quite that much. There, I think that's better. Okay, now I'm going to take a leaf and maybe go each direction with these, or both in the same. No, I think I'll go opposite directions. And I'm not going to use the acetate on this because I don't want them to stick up very high. So again, I'm going to put the glue on, and then I'm going to hold it in place. Oops, I don't have both pieces. I'm trying not to get my head in here so you can actually see what I'm doing without missing the spot that I want it to go. Okay, there's that one. And then I'm going to put some glue on this one, and I put it down going off the other direction. And I think I'm going to come this way and hold it. I think I want it to slant just a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Now we have something that looks like this, and then I'm going to put this little bird right about here. And maybe I do want to put it on acetate, put it up a little bit higher. No, I don't think so, because I think I want its feet to go right there. Yeah, I think that's cute. And I'll probably put it on the front of the little piece instead of on the back where the leaves are. So I'm going to put it right there and hold it in place. A bit higher there, I think. Okay. Now, I think this needs more. It doesn't have enough stuff. So let me see here. I have some other elements I can do. I have a butterfly. Oh, that might be really cute. So let's pick, I wonder if that big yellow butterfly right there. Oh, that's really cute. Okay, so let me get a piece. I think I'll use this box that I used as the demo. And I'll back it on here. And then trim around it on this purple. Because again, it's a sticker. I don't want it to stick to anything. And just going to quickly cut around it. I don't want you to have to wait too long while I fussy cut this. Just give it a rough cut all the way around. And then we'll probably need another piece of that acetate to put this on. This would, as you can see, I didn't plan it out ahead of time. I never do. I really just kind of decide on the design as I'm going. I have all the pieces, and then I figure out how I want them to go and start moving them around. And sometimes I take them off and move them again until I get them exactly where I want. And you'll probably do the same. And this, I haven't decided on a sentiment for it, but happy birthday, thank you, thinking about you just because. Okay, let's see, we've got that one there. And I think I'm going to put the butterfly going off the other direction, right there. You know what, I need a little more adhesive on this because I think I need the adhesive going up higher. As I moved it, the adhesive is down just at the bottom of this back piece, and it's a heavy piece, so I want the adhesive to go all the way up. Okay, so I need a little piece of acetate to go on this butterfly, and let's put some glue at the top, put the butterfly on, and decide where we want the butterfly to go. Oh, that's better. Well, no, it's not. There we go. Okay. And then I think I want the butterfly to go like that, coming off this other side. So, right there. And again, you're not going to know exactly how you want to trim this acetate till you get going and exactly where you put everything. At least I don't. Some people might plan a lot better than I do, but okay. All right, so here's what we have: a butterfly, bird, some leaves, some flowers, and you can do as much or as little as you want with these. I think it's cute either way. And I might have put the bird up higher if I'd thought about it, but it's cute. And we have more stickers we could use. We could put them on these flaps. Usually what I do on the underside is I take, we're gonna have to move this butterfly just a little bit, is I take and put a white piece so that someone can sign a sentiment there. Okay, so I moved the butterfly over just a little bit more because it was coming out the side, and I could play with it just a little bit. So every once in a while, close up and make sure all of your elements will fit inside this area. Okay, and we're all done. I think these colors are just beautiful. And again, it'll fit into a regular envelope. Cute, but could not be more different than this one or this one. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I will link to as many things as I can below, and I will link to the other video so you can see how to put together one of these with a die. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Happy crafting.